But I do believe that you're going to see some substantive move to the upside in ETH. So that would be 152%, let's say. And why do I have, for those of you who may not know, why did I just eyeball that as the target? One, because it's the top of this move right here. Two, because it's approximately the height of this cup. Superimposed from the side of breakout would give you around there. But I think that is a likely move. It is not off the table. And so, can this happen this weekend? Yeah. But again, really important, what's the time frame for this? And I always say this, it's not enough to know the what. You have to know the how and the when a bit, right? To be a successful trader, you have to try and figure out the how and the when. So using Elliott wave theory, we can surmise that this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles has about 8 more days left to hit this target. So I would say about a week more, right? We're Friday. I would give it until next Friday for these targets to be hit. Hello everyone, my name's Dean, let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 26th, 2024. And we're getting the move that we discussed in last episode, right? In the last episode, we were saying how it was very likely that Bitcoin had found support at this 38K level. Right? If you look at the charts, it's very simple. You can see here on the way up, we had created some sort of resistance level around 38K, okay? And that resistance level was tough to break. It took us a while. It took us about 22 days to break, right, on the upside. And we were saying right here around, this time, that on the way down, this would likely serve as support, right? It's just common sense. So we do have a shelf here of support. And so when Bitcoin did come down here on the 23rd of January, you saw, boom, we've got a bounce from that point around 38K. Furthermore, we also said that the analysis was likely that this drop from 48K all the way down to 38K was an impulsive move, okay? And so in an impulsive move, what you typically see in Elliott wave theory is that the time it takes for it to come down is equal for the time it takes to go up in the wave 1, wave 2 situation. And so because this is the initial impulsive move, you could call this wave 1, and so this would be the subsequent counter correction, right? The correction of wave 1 would be wave 2. And so we should expect, theoretically, this move going back here to be wave 2 and to take around the same amount of time, 12 days, as it did to come down. Okay, and so this is what we were saying last episode, just to recap, that it was likely that Bitcoin was going to matriculate for around 10 more days, right? So that gives us until around February 4th, February 3rd, February 4th, right? And the target was very simply taking the Fibonacci retracement tool from the top to the bottom of this reported wave 1 and targeting that 0618 golden pocket, right? So that's around 44.7. Okay, so this is still our target. And again, really important, that 44.7 target is confluent with our midline. And I always say on this channel, if you're going to break a channel, you always have to retest all three aspects, right? The top resistance, the bottom support, and the midline. Very important. So that would be our midline retest before coming down. So by hook or by crook, I'm very careful and very cautious about Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market, once we hit that $44,700 level, or this midline, or the phi ratio, however you want to measure it, be very careful. Okay, so Bitcoin is going up, but it's really not the story. No, that isn't what we're excited about, because from where we're at now, 42,000, 44,000 is a 6% move up. Okay, that's not really feeding anybody. It's a 6% move. It's fine, but right, the story is in the altcoin space. Okay, and that's what I want to talk about right now. And before we leave Bitcoin, let me just say this. Don't be surprised if we hang out here for some time. Okay, why? Look at this. 3 levels of a channel, right? Let's draw that again. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee link is pinned down below in the comment section. All right. So 3 very important levels or aspects of a channel: the top resistance, the bottom support, and the midline, right? So the bottom support is now resistance because we're below it. Ergo, once we hit it, and we're pretty much at it right now, don't be surprised if we consolidate a ton right now, right? Because we're there right now. Do not be surprised if Bitcoin just goes sideways for quite some time, especially since we're going into the weekend. And what do you know about the weekend? The weekend doesn't trade well because the US dollar currency index, the DXY, the dollar, doesn't trade during the weekends. So don't be surprised, my friends, if Bitcoin's just hanging out, right? We had this exciting move up, right, from this inverse head and shoulders. We talked about that as well last episode. We said this is likely an inverse head and shoulders, likely to break out. Yes, it broke out. Don't be surprised if from here we hang out, or even if we come down, retest this inverse head and shoulders at support. But I don't think we have to retest this inverse head and shoulders at support. Why? Because, very importantly, if you want to sustain a move, you always have to do your tests and your retests. So, right, if you're in a tried and true uptrend, tried and true downtrend, you always want to flip important resistance as support and important support as resistance. But remember, this isn't a tried and true uptrend. This is a counter correction, or a correction, right? This is a correction of this this purported impulse to the downside. So whatever we do here, it doesn't matter. Eventually, we're going to retrace upon it. So the price doesn't need to come back down and retest this inverse head and shoulders as support to continue. It could, but it probably won't. More likely than not, you're going to hang out here, pop up there, finish, and then dump. Okay. Also, once you get here, obviously you have to consolidate, right? You're going to put in a distribution before you dump down. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. And it's important to look out for what's happening with Bitcoin and how it's happening, because again, it really gives you the map, the guideline for what the entire market is doing. Now, altcoins, very important. This is really the story of the day. And actually, if you look at the total 2 chart, right, the aggregate chart of all altcoins, this isn't super clear as to what we can expect in the altcoin space. It's not because there's certain altcoins that have already run, like Link, like Cardano, like Arweave. And then there's other altcoins that have yet to run, like Hook, like Cartesi, like Quant. So you mash those together in one chart, you don't get that much good information. So I would say at this point in time, given that there's certain altcoins that are completely, in different, there's certain altcoins that have run, certain altcoins that haven't run, there's such a large discrepancy, the total 2 isn't that useful as an indicator. I think the best thing to do right now, if you want to look at altcoins, is to look at them individually. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pick just a few altcoins and do our analysis, right? So let's start off with Cartesi. Why not? Okay, let's go on the daily time frame, guys. Again, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee. Cartesi is likely going to break out, and my target is around 57 cents, thereabouts, right? And very simply, to target this, I've taken the Fibonacci retracement measure of this drawdown, and my phi ratio is going to be resistance because I'm below it. So that's essentially all I've done. Here I'm recognizing a double bottom, I'm recognizing a rounded bottom, and so I'm likely to continue this breakout, and that's what I'm recognizing. So I do think that in the time that Bitcoin matriculates to 44.7, Cartesi makes that move to 57 cents, giving you about 150% move to the upside. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing with Cartesi. All right, let's go on. Let's look at Dogecoin, very popular. Okay, what do we see with Dogecoin? Let's clean this up. Okay, this is as straightforward, I believe, a chart as you can see. Look at this. I mean, you've come down, you had a 1, 2, 3 big drawdown in the bear market, and then you had an extensive consolidation of the price. And right now, what you can see is this channel, this sort of falling wedge of a channel broke out and has been retested. And so right now we're at the retest of this falling wedge. The next move now is to the upside, and the likely target is this mauve rectangle, right? Right around 15 cents, I believe it is, right? 15 to 16 cents. And it's essentially it's both the bottom of all of this, right, before this broke down. This was a major breakdown right here. So basically, important support retested as important resistance when you're below it, right? Because it was important support before we broke it, took us into the bear market, like the actual bear market of this asset. And now on the way up, it's going to be a level of resistance. So that is a smart target for Dogecoin. And that is also, very importantly, your phi ratio or your golden pocket. So if you take your Fibonacci retracement level of this drawdown, what do you see? You see that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, the phi ratio, the 0.618, is around 16 cents right here, right? So this is how math helps corroborate your reads on the market. So for Dogecoin, I can see us making a move back to this level, giving us about 100% move, okay? And again, in the time that Bitcoin is kind of hanging out at the bottom of that channel that we drew and making its way up to 44.7, I believe that you're going to get a move in Dogecoin of about 100%. Let's keep it moving. And guys, if you have altcoin requests, please understand that I'm now offering a service to analyze altcoins specifically for the purposes of whatever you're looking for, right? Is it short term, high term, whatever chart you want me to do, whatever exchange. Just sign up for the membership, right? It's $10 a month. You can cancel anytime. Put in your request to the email listed on buymeacoffee.com, and I'll get back to you in about 72 hours or less. Usually the turnaround's within 24 to 48 hours. And I'll give you your altcoin analysis. So that's, again, you can find that membership at buymeacoffee.com, pinned in the first comment below. All right, so let's look at ETH. Okay, the king altcoin. What is it doing? So I do think that Ethereum is likely to give us a move. Okay, and I don't necessarily think that this is the easiest read, but I'm going to take a stab at it. Right, I'm seeing this as a cup and handle, and this, let's redraw that, this as my neckline. Okay, so let's draw that again. This is the cup, this is my handle, this is my neckline. I broke out of my cup and handle. I've retested my neckline resistance as support. I think that you're going to get a sizable move in ETH. Okay, you're likely going to get a sizable move in ETH. Now the question is, are you going to complete this move in the time that Bitcoin is doing its thing? You know, you can answer that question if you look at an ETH BTC chart, and you can kind of tell more information. I'm not going to do that here. For those of you who are interested, you want to send that request in the monthly membership, go ahead. But I do believe that you're going to see some substantive move to the upside in ETH. So that would be 152%, let's say. And why do I have, for those of you who may not know, why did I like just eyeball that as the target? One, because it's the top of this move right here. Two, because it's approximately the height of this cup. Superimposed from the side of breakout would give you around there. But I think that is a likely move. It is not off the table. And so can this happen this weekend? Yeah. But again, really important, what's the time frame for this? And I always say this, it's not enough to know the what. You have to know the how and the when a bit, right? To be a successful trader, you have to try and figure out the how and the when. So using Elliott wave theory, we can surmise that this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles has about 8 more days left to hit this target. So I would say about a week more, right? We're Friday. I would give it until next Friday for these targets to be hit. So if I'm looking at ETH, whoops, where's my ETH? Here we go. There we go. So if I'm looking at ETH, it's possible that in 7-8 days we're back at the $4,500 level. So that's likely. Okay, that's not out of the question, and it's comparable with a lot of the other targets that I'm seeing in the altcoin space. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do Litecoin. Litecoin. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is not the easiest read, but it's it's an important asset in crypto. Okay, once again, the first thing that I'm looking at is on the high time frame. I see a large declension, a big, strong bear market, right? 1, 2, 3, boom. Everything that comes after is a very nice and regular channel of accumulation, okay? Maybe it's 160 days, if I'm not mistaken, or more. Let's see. Oh, whoa. This is actually almost 600 days of accumulation. Okay, so first thing I think is if you have this nice of a channel, the first target is got to be the top of the channel, right? Like, this is basic channel trading. So for Litecoin, I think the top of the channel is a target. And actually, look, the top of the channel is coincident. It's confluent with your 0.618. Okay, so I think again, just targeting the phi ratio for this move up in Litecoin, which would give you about 100% move, kind of like what Dogecoin would give you, is a very likely thing. Again, if you're going to the top of the channel, from the bottom to the top, makes sense. but you're going to have to then come down, retest the midline before leaving the channel. So this is what I think is likely to happen. Again, this is within the time frame of the 7 to 8 days, so within the next week of trading. So, you know, it could happen we could get some activity on the weekend and then it continue during the weekday. But I'm seeing that. And the last thing I want to show you all is your Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so again, if we're going to get this move in altcoins where, you know, we have an idea that Bitcoin is only targeting 44,700, which is about 6 to 7% away, right? But altcoins are going likely to pump 100%, 150%, whatever, then this chart has to reflect that, okay? And again, for those of you who don't know, Bitcoin dominance is a measure of Bitcoin's total dominance against the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So if Bitcoin dominance is going up, that means Bitcoin's gaining against altcoins. If Bitcoin's dominance is going down, altcoins gaining against Bitcoin. We have evidence here that Bitcoin dominance is about to go down. First bit of evidence. We have this stochastic RSI momentum indicator that seems like it's topped out. Okay, so it's topped out, it's overheated, so it's looking to make a move back down. That's one. Second bit of evidence, we have you have to zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame to see this, but you have a series of moves here, right? And then you had this accumulation and you come up. What's interesting here is if you take this most recent move, an impulse, probably 5 waves down right there, okay, you're at the phi ratio of this most recent move down. Okay, again, the phi ratio is so important. It serves as resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it. We're below it, so right now at that phi ratio level, we're experiencing resistance. On the 4-hourly time frame as well, you're seeing that the stochastic RSI momentum indicator is topped out. So again, very likely to get a strong move down in Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you go back on the high time frame, what's really important and what really is going to send altcoins crazy is if this entire thing breaks down. Right here you have a head and shoulders bearish reversal pattern, quintessential bearish reversal pattern. These break down typically the height of the pattern superimposed from the side of breakout. Okay, so if that does happen, okay, which is likely may, given what we're seeing on the charts, and again the target, and I've talked about this before, is here, basically the top of this many 100-day channel, you get a move like this. That is the move we're looking for in Bitcoin dominance. If that move is preparing to happen, then you can expect altcoins to completely obliterate Bitcoin, go 150%, while Bitcoin's only going 6 to 7%. That's my case on why I'm focusing on altcoins and long altcoins for the next, 8 days, right? So that's it, guys. I hope this was helpful. If this was useful, like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, buy me a coffee. The link is pinned down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.